Here we are in section 2.1, working with a normal distribution. We have SAT versus ACT. Eleanor and Gerald have been friends since kindergarten and have become very competitive. Eleanor took the SAT and scored 680 on the math portion. Gerald took the ACT and scored 27 on the math portion. Now they are arguing over who performed better. Use your knowledge of statistics to help them settle the score. The distribution for the math portion of the SAT is normal with a mean of 500 and a standard deviation of 100. And that of the ACT is normal with a mean of 18 and a standard deviation of 6. First of all, because we want to compare scores of things that aren't on the same scale, we want to standardize those scores. So if you look at your resource packet, on the second page, it starts with inferential statistics, and it says standardized test statistic. That is the same thing as your z-score that you should have been reading about in section 2.1. The z-score is the statistic minus the parameter divided by the standard deviation. In this case, it'll be our observation minus the mean divided by our standard deviation. So to go into our work, the first thing I would do is identify the parts that you're going to need. Write that in as part of your answer. That way, and just in case you happen to write 690 instead of 680, then they know where it's coming from is what you've set up here. So always make sure you kind of show your work ahead of time just to help you with any mistakes you might make. Then, like I said, we need to find our z-scores because that's the way we're going to be able to compare these two unrelated almost ideas. We're putting them on an even playing field by standardizing their scores. So to find our z-score, we would take our observation minus our mean divided by our standard deviation. For Eleanor, she had a 680 minus the mean for the SAT was 500 divided by the standard deviation of 100, and we get 1.8. Then we'll do the same thing for Gerald's score on the ACT. And yes, you want to show this work happening. And then from that, we can make our decision. Now, Eleanor has a higher z-score than Gerald. So in comparison to their peers, Eleanor has done better. And we write up our conclusion. With a z-score of 1.8 compared to 1.5, Eleanor wins this round because she scored better as compared to her peers. Again, being sure to show work and then clearly communicate your conclusion.